Bait and switch is an unethical practice which is quite rare in professional private lending, and there are situations where real estate investors may feel that they were a victim of this, but the lender is not at fault in a lot of these cases. The way bait and switch works is the lender provides a term sheet with low pricing and maybe higher leverage too, but knowing in advance they would never actually close with those favorable terms. They'll string you along the loan process, and when you get close to the funding date, you'll be hit with higher pricing and lower leverage. By the time this happens, it may be too late to start over with another private lender, and you may feel forced to accept the new terms just to get your deal closed on time. It's only bait and switch when the lender intends to change the terms from the very beginning. However, there are many cases when the lender changing the terms during the loan process is completely justified. This frequently happens after the appraisal or the lender site visit, when the lender determines the value of the property is much lower than what you thought it was. Even if the value is not the issue, perhaps there is something wrong with the property that you failed to disclose up front. Anything that adds additional risk may cause a lender to reduce their maximum loan amount, so this is not bait and switch. When you receive a term sheet from a lender, check to make sure that a maximum loan to value is mentioned. Next to the loan amount, it should state not to exceed X% of the appraised value or something similar to that. A private lender increasing the pricing after issuing a term sheet may also be justified if they determine during the loan process that the loan is riskier than they initially thought. This typically happens when the borrower fails to disclose something important, such as liens on the property, financial hardship, poor credit history, criminal record, pending lawsuits by you or against you, and much more. The easiest way to avoid this situation is to be absolutely honest and upfront with the lender. Don't hold anything back and don't lie about anything. Private lenders do a lot of due diligence and they will find out everything about you and the subject property. Even though private mortgages are typically asset-based, private lenders do care about the borrower's financial situation and their ability to pay off the loan. Intentional bait and switch is very rare in the professional private lending industry. You're more likely to fall victim to it when dealing with individual investors or private lenders that don't openly advertise to the public, since they don't typically face consequences for their unethical behavior. This is why I always advocate borrowing from professional private lending companies that have an online presence and a reputation to maintain. It's highly unlikely that a professional lender will risk ruining their reputation with unethical practices. And many private lending companies are members of a trade association that have a code of ethics, which members are required to abide by. Our industry has 4 trade associations: the American Association of Private Lenders, the National Private Lenders Association, the California Mortgage Association, and the Arizona Private Lender Association. Check to see if the lender you're dealing with is a member of any of these organizations. This is a good indicator that you won't experience unethical practices by the lender, although it's not guaranteed. If you're seeking a private lender for an investment property deal, use privatelenderlink.com as a resource. We do our best to vet each lender, and we don't tolerate unethical behavior. If you've had a negative experience with any of the lenders listed on our platform, we'd love to hear about it so we can address it with the lender. When you do a search on our platform, you'll find that all the lenders listed have a very detailed profile which shows their lending guidelines. You can contact them directly, or if you'd like us to review your deal and make recommendations, click the Create a Loan Request button. Provide some information about the deal for us to review, and we'll invite a few select lenders to look at it.